The EXPO poster is a poster that hasn't been done within the last 20 years, so it was really nice to be able to sort of come back to this sort of iconic sort of object that becomes a memento, I think, for everyone here in the city. For me, it's part of sort of my obligation, I think, as an artist, to be, connected to an event of such where it really sort of brings community together.
Landfall was excellent to work with. They were totally ready for kind of anything, and the process is a slow one, where it's like one color takes a couple hours and then the next color, and they said as many colors as you want, so we went with about 11. And it was a process, but that also goes right back to Nick's work. It's layer after layer after layer. So while this is 2D, it still is, of Nick's process.
The poster is very much tied into my work. It's really looking at one particular image, which is of a sound suit that we sort of, again, built it, just sort of layering color on top of color, really building this sort of three-dimensional sort of vast sort of garden sort of scape.
The facility is this place that at its core houses Nick's studio, my studio, Jack Cave's studio. And so it's a place where all this creative energy is all the time. And when Nick's work is at its most powerful is when it's in the community. We've seen that. Wherever there's a exhibition and there's a community engagement, that's when it really becomes weighty. And so since we spend the majority of our time here making, we thought, well, why not turn this place also into one of those platforms? Let's use Nick's platform, our platform, for our community here in Chicago. And so what that means is somebody that we meet along the way that doesn't have the recognition or the opportunity that deserves it may be able to have an exhibition.
For me, it's really sort of knowing your position, I think, as a visual artist, and how you want to sort of orchestrate that. Facility is this new sort of creative hub, and we're makers. We're problem solvers. We work within communities. So this place really becomes this sort of central sort of headquarters for just a number of ideas. I'm fortunate to sort of be able to sort of create this kind of space, and it's a space that can occupy and support many young artists, established artists, and it's a revolving sort of incubator of sorts as the world continues to evolve. So it's never anything that's ever permanent. It's always sort of rediscovering itself.